Star Wars Outlaws is possibly the best Star Wars game I have ever played in my whole entire life, and in this video I will be breaking down lots of different details in a spoiler-free review that you don't want to miss. As a Ubisoft partner, I've been able to play Star Wars Outlaws early as Ubisoft provided me with the game. So before we jump into this review, I'd like to thank Ubisoft for providing me with Star Wars Outlaws for my long form videos and more. Remember, this will be an entirely spoiler-free review, and I won't be spoiling any of the story that you as a Star Wars fan or someone who's new to Star Wars will want to see for the first time. I will not ruin anything that I've seen in that manner in the game. But as someone who's put a lot of hours into the game, you can expect to see some gameplay right here on my YouTube channel. In Star Wars Outlaws, experience the first ever open world Star Wars game, set between the events of Star Wars The Empire Strikes Back and Star Wars Return of the Jedi. Explore distinct locations across the galaxy, both iconic and new. Risk it all as Kay Vess, an emerging scoundrel seeking freedom and the means to start a new life. As she tries to pull off one of the greatest heists the galaxy has ever seen, fight, steal, and wit your way through the galaxy's crime syndicates as you join the Most Wanted. While the Galaxy Empire tightens its grip, the criminal underworld thrives. Kay, along with her companion, Nix, must free herself from the bounty that follows her. From humid jungles of Akiva to the wideswept savannah of Tashara. Explore sprawling landscapes on your speeder and pilot your starship, the Trailblazer, through the worlds of space. On your journey for freedom, take on risky contracts and convince a cast of outlaws to join you along the way. If you're willing to take the risk, the galaxy is full of opportunities, and I mean absolutely full of opportunities. When you're exploring the galaxy and these worlds, you will be sidetracked by things that might catch your eye or something that you hear. One thing I noticed through my playthrough so far is I've noticed that when Kay's notoriety is growing, when she's becoming notorious, you can hear characters talking about you, and this sometimes presents an opportunity for you to steal something from that character or go on a completely huge side quest that you might not want to miss, as it might be filled with Star Wars references that you might recognize or might be introduced to as a new fan of the Star Wars franchise. The three main characters of the game are Kay Vess, who is a scoundrel outlaw thief, her companion and best friend, Nix, who is her partner in crime, and ND5, who is a BX commander droid enforcer, who you meet later on in the game. I won't give any spoilers to that character just yet. The two locations that you encounter at the start of the game are Cantonica and Tashara, although there are some more worlds from the Star Wars franchise you will encounter when you play through a lot more of the game, which include Tashara, Kijimi, Tatooine, and Akiva. The Syndicates. There are three main crews that you encounter at the beginning of the game: Crimson Dawn, the Pike Syndicate, and the Hutt Cartel. The Hutt Cartel is the one that you encounter a little bit later on, and there is a little bit more to discover in terms of the Syndicate that I won't spoil for you here. Which brings me on to the next point of interest, which is the voice acting. Each and every single one of these characters have their own stories to tell, and you can encounter those stories in ways that you choose to explore. So if you find a side quest from a character of Crimson Dawn, you can follow that side quest and discover new leads. Because these characters have their own lives and their own stories, you can really feel different types of emotion and personality coming through the voice lines that are given by each of these main syndicate bosses. This allows me to get some nuance to if that boss has discovered that I'm maybe double crossing them, or they've discovered that they can use me for some of their deeds. From a slight shift in a tone of voice, I can tell if a character is feeling a certain way. This shows that there is brilliant voice acting in this game from these main characters, some new and some familiar. The reason why this is crucial is because you are given choices if you want to side with a specific crew like the Crimson Dawn or against the Pike. This made me pay attention to what characters say a lot more, and these voice lines are delivered perfectly. Kay Vess, the main character, is a resourceful scoundrel underdog, and you'll be surprised at all of the capabilities and gadgets that she has at her disposal that you can take advantage of to play the game in the way that you would like to play. For example, she can fight, not very strong, but she can definitely defend herself, so in a quick situation you can knock out an opponent. She can use stealth to sneak around, observe a situation, infiltrate a compound, or avoid getting into conflict. She has the ability to explore, and we'll dive into this a little bit later on because there are some things that you can use to your advantage to get around a planet or of course the galaxy. And one of these things are your speeder. So your speeder is your bike, your hover bike that you've seen in many different Star Wars movies, and you can use this to get around planets, and you can upgrade this vehicle and also give it some new impressive cosmetics. Personally, I like to give my speeder the Lando paint job because I like how it looks in blue. You'll be surprised at what this speeder can do. Not only can it leap, but it also gets upgrades when you do side quests. Side quests become extremely important for you to upgrade your equipment, but also so that you can get around a lot easier and in some terms use abilities. So when you are doing these side quests, keep an eye out on what you're getting as a reward. You also of course have your starship, the Trailblazer. The Trailblazer has different weaponry and customization in the game. This really does rival any other game of its genre, and this is where the game begins to open up. Not only are there destroyed ships and debris which you can explore, but there are different locations out in the galaxy that when this opens up, you will be surprised at what you find. Sometimes I caught myself just looking at planets and how they look in this game because it's really well done, and having a dog battle in space just feels sweet and neat, and targeting an opponent with a missile, I have to say, allows me to say my tagline, launch, every now and then. When visiting different locations, you will have different types of trade. Of course, these are faction run, so depending on your relationship with a specific faction syndicate, you will have different prices. Later on, when you progress in the game, you can also accept quests from these traders so that you can improve the relationship with that faction when completing that quest for the trader. This will also of course improve the price of the items that you are buying or selling. Remember, there is also room to improve your ship, your speeder, and yourself. Kay has abilities that you can unlock once you've found a specific character, and there are conditions that you need to complete in order to have access to the upgrade that you can then purchase. This can be resources, credits, and of course interacting with that specific character. And it's not just Kay, it's Nix. Nix, your companion, helps you in everything that you do. He can even open doors or fetch items for you, distract enemies. Nix is extremely important in this game. I think in a companion type game, when you're exploring a world or a dungeon or anything, Nix is really a step above the rest. I'm surprised at what Nix is actually capable of doing. He feels like your best friend when you're playing this game. You can also customize what Nix wears as well as what you're wearing yourself, K-Vess. You can actually give Nix a treat, which gives you another ability when using Nix. Nix is also extremely cute and extremely funny. You can send Nix to distract an enemy, which I say his performance is spot on and he plays dead. Sometimes this draws the trooper towards Nix, in some cases it just catches their attention. Nix can also explode things and sabotage his arms, so you're really getting a lot when you're playing with Nix in this game. Nix is a complete asset to you, and without Nix, I don't know how K-Vess would survive. And I'm not saying that she wouldn't survive, but I'm saying that she would be less fun to play with. So having Nix with you is extremely fun, and using Nix in loads of different situations not only can be comedic, but can also be one of the best assets to K-Vess when you're playing with her. It doesn't matter if you're going all guns blazing and blasting or you're using stealth. Nix is definitely an asset in this game. We love Nix. There are quite a few things as well, like gadgets and things that you can use towards your gameplay style. A slicing kit, fusion cutter, glow lamp, electro shock rod, data spike, hollow tracker, back to veil, smoke bomb, grappling hook, electro binoculars and a grenade. All of these items help you in the way that you play, but can also be upgraded by completing conditions, for example a side quest where you need to collect something, or completing a main quest so you can have it unlocked initially. Because Kate doesn't really hold on to the other weapons that she finds out there in worlds and around the galaxy when you've defeated a trooper or an enemy, you actually pay attention to what the enemy has dropped a little bit more. I can't tell you how many times that an enemy has dropped a sniper that I've decided to pick up and then use for a specific scenario so I can either escape, sneak around, or of course destroy any obstacles that are in my way, including blowing up different things in the environment. Your blaster can be customized, including the type of shot that you can take with your blaster. You can change its look, but you can also use a stun shot, which will incapacitate any people that come into contact with it. And you want to use this when using stealth because it has some long range. Now we're on to 2 more points right here before I give you how I feel personally about this game. The music. The music of this game is so well composed. It's a complete full orchestra soundtrack that when you start the Star Wars Outlaws game, it will blow your mind. I love this soundtrack. It's probably one of the best soundtracks for a game that I have ever heard, well, for a long time to say the least. It's definitely up there in my top 10 game soundtracks of all time. The audio team done a brilliant job at composing the music of this game, not only the main theme but also other types of music that you hear throughout, for the arcade games that you can play in the game to the mini games like Kessel Sabak that you can also play. You can really hear the references to John Williams' soundtrack for Return of the Jedi and The Empire Strikes Back. And yes, we do have cantina music, and I have got a favourite. The stealth is very well done, as if you peek out your head from cover and an enemy catches a glance of you, they will notice, they will investigate, and they won't stop until the investigation is complete. Did they find you, or did they abandon the search before they could find you? These are different things that you will encounter in the game. Stealth is well done. The visual presentation of the game reminds you of a Star Wars trilogy movie, and you can play the game in widescreen with film grain. You can also alternatively play in full screen, which I chose to do a little bit later on. And then you have an ability which is very similar to what I have already shown you in Assassin's Creed Mirage. That's right, in Star Wars Outlaws you have adrenaline sequences, where when you're in or under gunfire you are building up your adrenaline, and when you have it full up you can press both sticks in, because I'm playing on the Xbox controller so it's right and left stick for me, and when I do this I can then slow down time, make a selection and then instant kill some enemies. You will see troopers fall. Oh yes. Once again, I'd like to thank Ubisoft for providing me with Star Wars Outlaws early. As a Ubisoft partner, this made me extremely happy. I had a lot of fun exploring this game and being able to give this early spoiler-free review. So now's time to give my overall thoughts and opinions on the game in this early spoiler-free review. Nyx is probably the best companion that I've ever played with in this type of game. The open world really is open world, and it makes this a unique Star Wars game that we've never seen or experienced before. This is going to give you lots of opportunity to explore and also go into different pockets of the Star Wars galaxy without being forced into a linear storyline. You can go into a side quest to find some information about this galaxy far away that you might not have known or may have found some lore of before, because there are also some treasures that you can find that connect you to the main Star Wars storyline. I absolutely love this game, and I know that you will too. I've been on it non-stop since I've been able to play it. I've been exploring the galaxy, I've been using Nyx in new and inventive ways, my new abilities that I have as Kay Vess that hasn't been explored in any other game before, so there are different things that she can do that you cannot find elsewhere, and right now this is a unique gaming experience with Star Wars. It's amazing. You do not want to miss this game. You can use stealth, you can use combat, you can get in Trailblazer and fly the galaxy onto these planets that are filled with life. There was one scenario where I had some alien creatures that were coming up to me because I fed the one and they were just following me around. I was racing somebody on my speeder the other day. This game has so much that you can explore and have fun with that you will be playing for hours on end. The passion is there and you feel it when you're playing this game. Definitely one not to be missed, and there will also be some more gameplay. This is my spoiler-free early review of Star Wars Outlaws. Don't miss this game. I'm giving it definitely a high rating. It's gotta be at least a 5 out of 5 stars. This is gorgeous. I love this game. I want more of Star Wars Outlaws, and I'm going to go and play it right now because I have not put it down since I've been able to play it. One of the best open world games that I've ever experienced, and it's going to break records. Thank you for watching my early spoiler-free review of Star Wars Outlaws. I've given you an overview of a few things, but also my opinion right here. This is one not to be missed. Subscribe, like and subscribe, and thank you to Ubisoft for providing me with this game. I am hype. Join Star Wars Outlaws now. You won't regret it. Thank you for watching.